Hey everyone, I thought I would do a bit of a different video today, which is I'm going to tell you all of the biggest mistakes I've made since running my jewelry brand. Okay, so the first one was not doing TikTok sooner. I actually set up our first TikTok account in probably 2020 when we started, but it took us a full almost 2 years to actually post on it consistently. And I think that's because I didn't really understand video first content that well. I didn't really have my own social media accounts, let alone brand ones. And I've never really aspired to be like an influencer or a content creator, so it didn't really come naturally to me. And I think there was definitely that fear of judgment of other people that I knew because it was definitely not something that my friends were doing at the time. But once I did start posting consistently 2 years later, that was when everything changed for my business. So I just wish I had jumped on it during that COVID pandemic time because we would have undoubtedly grown so much faster. Okay, the next big lesson was not listening to customer trends in product. So for the first 2 years of my business, I was just hand making all of our earrings, and it was very much like a side hustle, a hobby. It wasn't really a big thing. And I was putting so much effort into marketing and growing our socials, but it just wasn't translating into sales. And I think the problem that I didn't really get was that I wasn't creating a product that people loved and needed. I was just creating a product that was okay. But when you're a new brand and to stand out and for people to spend their hard-earned money on your product, it really needs to be amazing and something that you absolutely 100% believe in. And there was a really big turning point when we dropped our Amalfi collection in 2022, and I think that's when everything changed because that was the first collection that I felt so proud of our product on. And actually loads of the products that I dropped that day are still our bestsellers now. The third one is over-relying on organic social media. So I already said that TikTok was amazing for us as a brand, and it definitely was, and still is actually. But algorithms change and they're not always super predictable or sustainable. And if you're constantly relying on them to bring in new customers or keep people engaged, it can be a bit of a dangerous game if they don't work in your favor. And also, to be honest, as a founder, it can be a bit exhausting because if I'm not constantly posting social media or paying someone else to do it for me, our sales basically just dry up. So now we don't over rely on social media. We have email marketing set up. We run ads as well. We have loads of different channels. We have affiliates. And it just takes the pressure off of having content that converts all the time. And the final mistake, which is still actually a big one that I struggle with, is shiny object syndrome. The great thing about social media is you can see so many other cool brands doing really cool stuff in different spaces and different niches. But the problem with that as well is that you can see what other people are doing and you're like, oh my gosh, that would work so well for my business. Or, oh, I should try that. Or your friends are like, oh my gosh, have you seen that brand? They did the coolest thing. You should do that. And it's so tempting to jump onto all of these things and stay ahead of the curve. But actually, sometimes that can just take you away from your core mission and kind of get you off track when really you should just be staying in your lane. So this year I've been really strict with myself on only focusing on the things that are really important to us this year. And it does mean having to say no to other opportunities or other things that we could be spending time and money on. But at the end of the day, it's really important to get your foundations laid and to just make sure that you're going towards your star goal, not other people's. But if you would like to hear any more about the behind the scenes of running a business, I would love to share more. So let me know what you want to know.